making dishcloths out of an old bath towel. This towel here was an old towel, heavens, that we've had for years. I mean, we had these towels when everybody was at home, the family was at home. We must have had them for about 10 or 12 years, quite embarrassing. But anyway, they've done really good service. So when we moved into the house a few years ago, we wanted new towels to go with our new bathroom. But these are, you know, they're still serviceable cloth, if you like. So I wanted to do something useful with them because we had a whole family's worth of towels exactly like this one. So at the same time, I was frustrated and fed up with the disposable kitchen cloths that you have, cleaning cloths that you basically are throwing into the bin. And I do this thing where I go through the bin and I try and figure out what I can remove from our waste. So if I find that something is going into the bin regularly, I think, is there a way of doing it differently so that I'm not creating that rubbish? And the other thing that came together was the fact that I have this sewing room. I have a sewing machine, I have a sewing table right here, all set up all the time. And I also collect bits and pieces from the charity shops, such as old thread and stuff like that. So I have old thread, which is secondhand. I have these towels, I have a sewing room, and I didn't want to create waste. And so it made sense to me. So I get a standard bath towel, I chop it into 12, which creates pieces around this size. It's not accurate, I mean, I just literally, you know, chop it round. Creates a little towel this size, which I found is the perfect size for my hand. And then I use the second-hand thread from the op shop and I just zigzag around the outside. Doesn't matter what colour it is, I just zigzag around the outside. And then these cloths essentially just go through the wash. So whenever I'm putting a load of washing on, I bung these through. If they get a little bit smelly or they need a little bit of freshening, I just put them in a pan on the stove and boil them. Because I remember my mum, when I was a little girl, she used to have dishcloths, and they used to go through the wash, and when they were a bit smelly, she used to boil them on the stove. So I do that and it works a treat. And they last for ages. So the first lot I did was about 2 years ago, and they need replacing now. So I'm cutting up one more towel and doing another batch. And with the amount of towels that I still have, oh heavens, I'm probably good for 20 years. But if I ever run out, I like these so much, I would probably buy a towel from a charity shop and cut that up and do that instead. Anyway, it's a bit mad, but I thought I'd show you what I do. Come along. So the technique is, I fold it in half lengthways, cut it down the middle, then fold each of those halves in half, cut it down the middle, and then those pieces I fold into thirds and just do the little fold that you just saw me do. So it's not accurate, it's just that makes the right size. So if I was to guess, I would say that 15 minutes is all that it takes to cut them all up, and then zooming around the outside, possibly half an hour. That would be a stretch. So I probably can make enough dishcloths to last 2 years in an hour. I think it's worth it. For me, at any rate.